Good morning, Path to Warren podcast. This is Matt Warren. It's episode 314. It is a brand new year. It's Monday morning, January 3rd, 2022. Hope you're having a great Monday so far. Let's start this new year off on the right foot. I'm real excited about all that 2022 is going to hold, and I hope you are too. This morning, I got up at 4 and I couldn't really go back to sleep. I laid in the bed. The wind was blowing so hard that I just laid there and thought about what I was going to do. Finally got up at 4:45 and really started off my morning in a great way. I did my third step prayer on my knees, turning my day over to my higher power, asking for his help and his guidance today. I did 11 minutes of abs crunches and side crunches, leg extensions, 11 minutes of core, and then I did the most push-ups in a row that I've ever done. I did 85 push-ups. Then I sat down and I had my tea and I read in, I think it was probably 6 books. I read over a page. Most books were about 2 pages because they're so good. I'm real excited about Russell Brunson's book, Expert Secrets, that I got this Christmas. It's really opening up my eyes, and he was the guy that started ClickFunnels and has made over $100 million in ClickFunnels, which are these pathways where they take somebody that has a product or a service and lead them through from getting people into their website, getting traffic into their website, then through all the way to where they click and buy something. But his book is really laying out, I'm very early on in the book. I'm still in the first chapter or so. But he talks about laying the framework. We're not just selling a product, but right now I learned this morning that it's about creating this framework. He talks about the first step to becoming an expert is to read all you can about the subject, right? Most people do that. The second step is to gather all of the people in the industry who are the movers and shakers, the people that are doing what you want to do or who you're intrigued by what they're doing, and interview them. So you're a reporter now. And he recommends that you have them on your podcast or interview them in some way. Interview them and type it up and put it into a blog. What's amazing is that I'm set up now to do that. I'm set up now to interview people on this podcast because I have a podcast and a following. I'm also set up to have a blog written about the interview and posted on my website. Then he says, once you've gathered the reporter stage, so you go from like the information gathering stage to the reporter, where you're reporting on everything that these experts have already done. So you're like taking all the best of the best, and you interview multiple people, dozens of people, as many people as I can. I'm going to interview them, and then you cherry pick the best of all of that, and you put your spin on it, and then you create a movement. He talks about creating a movement and not just selling a product. The best companies out there have a movement. Apple has a movement. Tesla has a movement. All of these big companies, Gary Vaynerchuk has a movement. Eric Thomas, Dr. Thomas has a movement. I could go on and on and on. all of these folks didn't just sell products. They created a movement toward a greater good. You know, on my expert card that I read every morning and every night, it says, I help people have clean water, clean food, and energy that's affordable, sustainable, and safe through indoor farming containers, solar that charges batteries, and water purification. So that's my purpose in life. My value, I believe, would be to provide clean water, clean food, and clean power to people that need it the most. So I'm not just selling solar panels, and I'm not just selling water purification, and I'm not just selling indoor farming. There are hundreds of people, if not thousands, that are already selling water purification, indoor farming through hydroponics or hydroponic systems, and solar panels. You know, God knows there's hundreds of people selling solar. What I want to do is I want to interview the best of the best with water purification, the best of the best with indoor farming, the best of the best with solar, primarily with solar tied to shipping containers, and primarily indoor farming as it relates to being grown inside of shipping containers. With the solar, there are companies that don't do indoor farming, but they have maybe battery storage, or they have a massive amount of solar panels. I've seen everywhere, all the way from like 12 solar panels on the top of a shipping container, which won't do much of anything, to, I believe I've seen somewhere around 75 or 80 solar panels adhered or structurally secured to the top of the solar panel in the perfect 45-degree angle pointed toward the south or southwest. So once I interview these people and I get their mastermind, buy-in, I'm going to be able to come up with what solutions will work best and share all of this journey through my blogs and podcasts so that there is a movement created. Then and only then will the people be so excited about it and know that I've become an expert on the situation because of they can witness the entire story as it unfolds in my podcast and in my blog. Then and only then can I present the solution. And I don't know what that exact solution is going to be today. But I guarantee after I interview these experts and have become an expert, I'm going to know what it is. What's really fun and what really gets me up in the morning is that I have tried very hard to follow Gary Vaynerchuk's suggestion on document the journey. Documenting this journey with video, with podcasts, with blogs. I'm not trying to say I've got to figure it out. I'm just simply documenting it as I figure it out. How many videos did Gary Vaynerchuk have of himself going from meeting to meeting, videotaping and podcasting the actual meetings as they unfold and as he's learning and hearing things? That is the content that is interesting. That's the content that people are going to look back on one day and say, that's how he got to XYZ. That's how he figured out this part. That's how and it also has like proof of like, this is why. Let me give you a prime example. I'm in the process of taking these old emails that I have that are in Gmail. Praise God for Gmail. I'm trying to clear out my inbox. I've got 4,550 emails left in my Gmail but that's down from 6,000 plus emails. But this morning, I was taking an old email, like I'm starting at the very end of my, like the oldest emails I've gotten. I'm working one by one, doing something with them or deleting them. But I'm creating these blogs of these old emails to tell a story, because it's really neat. I can go to the search feature and search, Aiken, and find all of the emails and history and timelines and site changes and panel expansions and all the problems with the utilities that relate to Aiken in my blogs, because I'm sorting them and putting them into these blogs and deleting the emails. I'm copying and pasting and snipping photos, solar designs. So I've created this massive conglomeration of emails that very clearly tell the story of all the struggles that I've went through with the solar business. This morning I found an email where Aiken Electric Cooperative was pushing back so hard against this chicken farmer going solar. I'm talking, he was just adamant that absolutely zero extra solar power can be put into our grid. It has to be completely off, completely freestanding. And all of this is kind of like being exposed. I'm now leaning toward, as I shared in a previous podcast, I'm leaning toward really exposing all these problems and struggles that I went through, separate from the drugs and alcohol. That was just kind of a cherry on top. But I'm now seeing that all these struggles and stresses and financial issues that I ran into because of these utilities like SCE&G and these electric cooperatives like Tri-County Electric and Aiken Electric, all of these struggles that I hit where I thought I was going to get a $20,000, payment for the work that I'd done, progress payment, I guess you would call it. And it's like, oh no, there's a problem with the application. Oh no, there's a struggle that we've got now with this and that. So I want to document all that and share it with folks. Maybe the book's going to be called Lessons Learned from the Solar Industry, or, things like make sure you read this before getting into solar. Whatever it is, I don't know what the title will be yet, but it really has been therapeutic for me to take these old emails from 2016 and 2017, or when I really hit rock bottom in 2017, to getting sober and changing my life in 2018. Yesterday, I celebrated 3 years and 10 months of sobriety because, it actually wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. It was 3 years, 10 months, because March 1st, 2018 was my sobriety date. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about all that's going to happen in 2022, and I hope you are too. Well, I'm at work now, so I better go. Remember to make your contribution. Hope you have a great day and a great 2022. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.